Hello, good morning, and welcome to another very special episode of White Details. This week, I'm down south. I am being hosted by Master Detailer Kelly Harris of Lake Country. This is part one of a 2-episode series. There's lots to cover. There's lots of educational pieces, both for you and for myself. We're going to be shooting some clear coat. Not only is Kelly a detailer, he's a master painter, body shop. We're going to be taking a look around the iconic facility here in Gillingham. There's lots. There's a training day tomorrow with PVD. Lots going on. That and more coming up in this episode of White Details.
That was really good, Jim. That's better. A little bit slower.
Hi there, my name's Bert. I run the Professional Valeters and Detailers Trade Association.
I'm Kelly Harris from KDS Keltec. Some of you may know my history, but some of you may not, so I'm going to do a real crash course. So from a young lad, I always had the cleanest mountain bike, or BMX at the time, and cars before I could even drive. And I always had a passion for making things clean and shiny. So my father, and actually my stepfather, and even my step-granddad and my real granddad, they've all been in the body shop background or car repair background. I didn't actually go and work for any of my family. I actually started as an R&D engineer for 16 years, but it's mechanical. So I turned that mechanical engineering and the knowledge through my father's body shop, my stepfather's body shop. Obviously I worked the evenings and weekends quite a lot. I was fascinated with paint. So that turned into me rebuilding cars. So before I was even detailing, I was actually restoring cars. So quickly off the top of my head, I can remember TVR, Lancia Integrales, Clio Williams, or a Nova GTE. I think it was about 10 cars that I'd restored, and we're talking nut bolt restoration. But the weird thing was, the thing I had the most pleasure for is shiny paint. I had a bit of a head start because my dad had a body shop. So for years I dabbled in a body shop. It's actually 32 years ago. It was the first time I ever did a wet sanded and polish a car. Kept it as a passion, but as a hobby. And then literally spoke to one of my friends one day, said, "You love doing this, do it as a living." The rest is history, really. I've been 13 years as KDS Keltec. We've probably done 2,500 to 3,000 cars now. There's been an Enzo, we had a full restoration or full repaint. We've done classic car restoration, Healy, 355 Ferrari, and obviously high-level detailing. That brings me to sort of current day now, where you might notice I'm now not got a KDS top on. I have a Lake Country Manufacturing LCPT jacket on. I've been teaching as under my own brand for about 12 years. We're totaled just over 150 one-to-one pupils from around the world. They spend a week with me, and then we're talking about 500 to 600 group training day pupils where we have 20, 30, 40 people in here, and we do sort of different levels of training. So I've always liked to teach what I know, and I've been told I'm quite good at teaching. So organically, these two brands, Lake Country as an overall umbrella, contacts me saying, would you like to help us sort of influence the industry and teach a method and process? Back to today, I'm now the Director of Global Training for Lake Country Manufacturing and LC Power Tools. My role there is to travel the world, make YouTube videos and tutorial videos, and have pupils in my building for educational. Short, sweet, crash course of who I am, where I started, where I am now, and where I'm going to be in the future.
All right then guys, well here we go. Here we are, Lake Country. This gentleman, I'll pass you over to Kelly. Thank you for hosting us, my friend.
Not a problem. Thank you, Jim. So let's do a little tour. You've asked me to do a little tour, Jim, so let's do a quick sort of brief tour around the building. So we're starting in the area where we'd have traditionally the car dropped off and collected. So this is sort of our inspection area. What we got on here, we got 2 light sources. You'll notice there's a third light source that isn't actually on at the moment, so I can quickly turn it on and off. So we have 3 different light sources. We have the ability to have all on remotes, different light sources, all on and off. The inspection and collection area. And what this, having 3 different light sources, gives us the ability to show surface defects, swells, orange peel, sanding marks, buffer lines, sinkage, but we do different light sources for different reasons. Sure. Then what we have is 2 panels that we painted. So yes, they were painted in-house. Jim knows that I painted them in-house.
We'll come on to that.
So this one is straight out of the gun. It's a gun finish. And actually, I had you, Jim, looking at it. We can prove it's gun finish because there's a few little tiny dust nibs. I'm trying to see there's one there, just to prove it is actually a gun finish. A lot of effort, a lot of work to make that flawless, and that's a gun finish. So we've got that panel there, and we've got the same sort of replica of the other brand I represent. So multiple layers of clear coat and multiple layers of colour first. It's not a sticker, this is actually sprayed. You can actually see the masking line there joined.
Yeah.
I didn't get it quite perfect. There is actually a step.
Close-ups.
Have you? Thank you. So yeah, we've painted this building. We've been painting for years and years. My background is actually 20, 30 years into body shop paintwork and detailing, which is what made me set up my business really.
Wow.
So what you might be able to see here is tomorrow we have a training course for PVD. It's 12 pupils coming. Jim, you're a host, or sorry, you're the guest, and I'm the host. Yes,
okay.
You're the guest.
You've upgraded me without knowing.
So Jim's going to be. Is this your first time you've done this?
It is, absolutely.
Yeah. What we're going to do, we're going to do some really advanced training tomorrow. We're going to use funky laser pens. We're going to use a laser pen on the panel, and the reason why that is we're going to get precise placement every time for when we're doing any polishing, and we're going to monitor the polishing. I painted these at the weekend, so they've all got the same clear coat. Jim's going to know more about clear coat, a lot more about what goes on with clear coat. So these are all painted at the weekend, all at the same time, with all the same clear coat. So that gives us a nice, consistent training day, really. We all have the same products, the same machines, the same pads, same compounds. So it's almost like a fun competition day. So we have a Cayman up on that ramp there. There's a that's called a two-post ramp.
Two-post, yeah.
So that's a two-post ramp that can lift 5.5 tonne and actually very large vehicles. There is a hole in the ceiling in the second floor for that reason that we can lift very tall vehicles up through there.
So you do some mechanics as well? It's not
well, I used to do a lot more mechanics.
So
I do a lot less now.
Okay.
But that's a great ramp for cleaning underneath, for polishing exhausts,
Well, yeah.
taking things off, trims and bits. But of course it's compromised on the sides, as you'd know, Jim, for polishing down the sides. So we've kept this out of the way for the moment, and we've kept it up there because there's a little bit of a secret reveal of how bad this car is. We utilise it for part of the detailing process, but it wouldn't be my preferred ramp for detailing.
No.
Definitely
you have
not.
Plenty more options.
Yeah, but that was my first ramp from doing a lot more sort of bodywork, restoration, mechanical work. This is more down this area as a detailing area, where traditionally we'd have this car, like this one now, midway through polishing, on your traditional scissor ramp, the scissor lift, which I think, Jim, you've said you've got the same sort of style where it's a double lift. So
it's a full height.
Yeah, full height
full
one.
height.
So you can buy them in half heights, only go to there, or full height.
Which is perfect for the detailer.
Yeah.
Wheels off,
Yes.
access to the lower portions.
So, say we've got the wheels off there, sitting on that ramp, and then it'll be polished in this area, which, where I'm standing now, I'll come back to in a minute, is actually another ramp, is a bit more of a secret. So that is the ramp I'd choose. You would understand, you've got one of these, Jim, haven't you? All day long, perfect ramp. You know, there's no obstruction to doors. You can, I'm sure you do interiors sometimes, if you have wheels off, being refurbed or coating, you can still get inside.
Of course, yeah.
So
Yeah.
mine and Jim's tip would be scissor rim. We've had this discussion off camera, that we believe how can you detail?
It's money well spent.
Yeah.
It's one
Even
of
if it's
the-
your knees and back, but how can you detail so well when you're struggling on the floor? The fact you can lift this car up and you'll be at eye level with a light source,
Yeah.
so you can see all the defects.
You will end up working more because you're
Yes.
over efficient.
And they're not.
But that's not a
They're
bad
not
thing.
even that expensive, are they, Jim?
No, no.
Not in the scheme of things.
It's probably, in terms of the equipment needed for detailing, it's one of the most expensive in terms of machines and cloths and
Yes.
towels and chemicals, but it is one of the most important.
Absolutely. The opportunity it gives you, and with having a ramp, to be able to do the job better and more efficiently, I'll pay that all day long.
Definitely.
So, we can't at the moment, but if you was to look up now, you can see a little funny black thing there. That's called a jacking beam. So this is a huge 4-post ramp that at the moment you can't see. The only giveaway is this is a post. Here's another post, and Jim is just over 6 metres away. So we have a very long, exceptionally long ramp. Well, put it in perspective, here's a Golf. This post is in line with that floor.
Yeah.
So look how much longer. So this I had imported from abroad and had to self-build. So this ramp is the largest ramp I could physically find that can take like a long wheelbase car or a Rolls-Royce Phantom, and the width. And then it's the height. Look how high that is now. So that's a very high lift, and that's because there's a secret upstairs that we'll go upstairs in a minute. I use this not only as a detailing lift or a mechanical lift, but more of a detailing lift. It's actually a way to transport vehicles upstairs.
Because it's important to know at this point, this building it's not always been this way. This
Correct.
has developed a hell of a lot.
Yes, I have actually got a photo if you want that photo. It was a bare shell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved in, and even the trunking for the electrics I had to have installed. So even the electrics was literally a fuse board. So when I moved in, there wouldn't be the offices upstairs that you've seen, Jim. There wouldn't be all the areas we got. It would literally be one little room.
Wow.
Little room, really. So a massive transformation there, which unfortunately when I did this, it was 13, 14 years ago, we didn't think about social media. We didn't think about video in it. It's taken me about 8 years to get to this level. So you've got kitchen cupboards, haven't you?
Yeah, important.
Yeah,
Keep things, everything needs a home.
So I remember putting them in, I'm going to say it's probably about 2011, 10, 11. And on good old fashioned detailing world, I put a picture up and I got laughed at. And you probably didn't even see that, Fred. I got laughed at saying, you're a weirdo. Who puts kitchen cupboards in their workshop?
Everybody now.
It's so funny that that's a normal thing now, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Why would you? And I used to have really expensive Snap-on and Mac roll cabs. That's a crazy £3,000–4,000.
Yeah.
And I had all my equipment in there, and then I sold all them second hand, put all this in, and had probably half the money back.
Yeah.
Because why would I want? This is perfect.
Absolutely.
Absolutely perfect. Another recommendation.
Have you counted the amount of lights you have in it? Because there are lots.
Not exactly. Upstairs there's more than downstairs. So jointly, there's like 24 or 36 lights in the oven alone, which we haven't been in, the spray booth. So I know it's over 300 lights because we're not looking upstairs yet.
Yeah.
If you include upstairs and downstairs, it's well over 300 lights. So yes, my electricity bill is crazy.
So finishing off downstairs, the tour before we go upstairs, you were saying that all these 6 panels now, nice branded Lake Country colours.
Spotted,
You
well
do have
spotted.
the facilities here on site for painting.
I do. So if we go around here, let's start there. There's the big double doors. So there I've incorporated the spray booth into the corner of the building. So obviously you'd open these 2 doors, drive the car into there, and then if we go around the side door, we can actually go down the side of the Golf. I can show the sort of simple controls for extraction and baking. You have a spray cycle and a bake cycle. So what you're doing here is when you put it on a spray cycle, there's a larger volume of air going through filters, so it's fresh air being passed through all the time.
Okay.
You set the vacuum to be negative. You don't want it blowing out. So little interesting thing in, you probably don't know this, Jim. People think a spray booth is there just to make the paint cleaner and a better finish.
Right.
Yes, the paint gets baked and it's in a container. Technically, I'd want this gauge to read positive, so that means it's blowing outwards here and it would blow the doors open, but they're strong magnets.
Okay.
So what I'm going to try and get at is, anyone that's got dust and dirt on themselves here, and this has a large vacuum, that dust is being sucked
through into the
painted
important
area. Reason why? Health and safety. None of the vapour from the paint must ever come out into people that aren't wearing breathing apparatus, because it's poisonous. So the whole point is it's actually drawing dirt in there. The idea is these seals are looked after and kept clean, in good condition, and it sucks shut.
You can see it.
And then what you've got is, now it's a self-contained unit and it gets filtered. So basically a spray booth is all to do with health and safety, and people probably think it's just made to make paint better.
Okay.
Byproduct is, it's a clean room.
Yeah.
You can turn the temperature up and then you bake clear coat in there. You bake the paint so it goes off and cures correctly. But yeah, so we have the side entrance in here when the vehicle's inside there, and you have your controls here. You can set the temperature for spray, it's always a traditional temperature, for bake, how long you want, and obviously set the vacuum. So Jim, we're done downstairs, so let's go upstairs, shall we? Let's show you where the other ramp is and what's upstairs. So I have got a couple of training panels on the board here. I won't go through all of them, I'll do a couple. So this one here, corporate colours, Lake Country blue.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can notice it picks up on the camera. Does that look like it's different shades of blue?
It does, yes.
So actually it's the same colour blue the whole way through. This area is the gloss clear. This is with a gloss clear with a satin agent, and this is the same gloss clear with a matte agent. So it's interesting how people don't understand that when you have a matte colour or matte clear over the colour, it alters the colour. So it's just a good visual. You could actually believe they're different colour blues.
Yeah,
it's exactly the same blue under the clear coat. This one here is to do with different grades of sanding, and then by hand and machine, so I can show pupils different grades. So when we're sanding on a training course of sanding, we can almost offer that up as a swatch card saying, you now need to go from 15 to 3, 15 to, it shows a grade.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I showed you this one earlier, Jim. This is the evil of a detailer mixed with a painter. This is a detailing product that was applied, a sealant, nothing ceramic, panel wiped off with Body Shop panel wipe. So not the strongest Body Shop panel wipe, I know, just a generic panel wipe, common one. Then I put clear coat lacquer over it. You see the results. The actual silicone from the detailing product has not been fully removed and caused this horrendous silicone reaction. It's really bad.
It's an extreme example, I guess, but
it's there as a demonstration what can happen.
Yeah. Wow.
So now we need to go upstairs.
Great, after you.
So, as you can tell, I have quite a lot of polishers. Told Jim the other day, I was on the phone, 32 polishers, wasn't it? You said, should I
Do I need to bring my own? I've got 5. Well, I've got 32.
There's not all of that. We've got more hidden away, but there's a sort of a history wall almost in different types of mode sizes. So when pupils come here, I literally can say to them, pick a machine. Someone's taken one already, it seems like from here. So we can pick a machine. So you must know, Jim, that people have got their preferences to sort of machine styles, products. If I keep most in stock, then they can always be taught with that preferred machine. So let's carry on. So this was, years ago, my training area. That's been sort of slightly repurposed now. I use this on the smaller group days, because downstairs tomorrow we got 12 people in total, I guess it's 20 people. So sometimes I use this area up here for a smaller, more intimate, personal one-to-one course, which literally can be one person up to 4 for a week with me. So this is a smaller version of the cupboards downstairs with more bespoke equipment. So your denibbing tools, your wet sanding tools, DA sanders. So there's a overlap of downstairs, but some extra stuff in here as well. There's a microscope, gloss meter, hardness tester. So this is the geekier area up here when we do testing. So this is my sort of like little conference area with table and chairs. The car in question, Jim, that we're going to be polishing.
Very special, I understand.
Yes, well,
1 of 1, is it?
It says 3,
yeah.
The number 3, and I've not researched it massively compared to Jay, my front man that serves, because the customers told the front man that this was to celebrate something to do with the oldest chassis in existence, which happens to be number 3. So I think it's 100 years old Aston Martin. So they was going to create 3 to celebrate number 3. So there is some things, this leather strap there, the badge, quite cool, the Q badge, the caliper chain. So it is just literally a bit bespoke. There is a plaque inside the car, which I don't know if you've captured, have you, Jim?
Not yet.
There's a plaque in here. I open the door and there's a plaque inside there telling you what model it is. The customer told us the other day, somehow he's convinced Aston Martin that this is going to be the only one. So 3's sort of correct and not, because it's 3 is the chassis number, but now there was going to be 3. If you Google it, it says there's going to be 3 made.
And this is what we're working on Thursday, Friday.
It is.
Later this week.
And it's funny how we met before he was in this building, and the first thing you talked about was
sanding marks
on Aston Martin. And then I got my phone out and went, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
And then this turned up. Organically, the customer purchased this as you was coming out and visit, and I'm like, how funny that we both say about how great they are as cars, but how they've got defects from being hand painted.
Careful.
So yes, so this area up here.
Another ramp?
Yeah, there's another ramp there.
Portable, so you can move that one, is it?
Yes, you can. I used to have 2. I used to have another one there and one there because of the more volume I was doing with cars, so we quite often have 2 here. I've got rid of one of the ramps to give me a bit more free space for training, because we've ramped down the amount of cars we process now because we've got more public in here. So that means we can move that back out of the way and have this large area for training, bring that ramp forward to do this sort of job now up here. So this was my main PPF area. So in the old days, this is why I've got more lights on the wall. Before the sign was up there, that was a glass wall. Light, but it's a glass wall for back peeling for the PPF, so you can inspect the film before it goes on. So this is why I say there's a lot more lights up here. So that was my storage area over there, but now we've got table and chairs there for people like yourself, guests, when we're sitting there having meetings or food. And then behind me, I've already run through some of these, Jim, with you, which if we try to get on camera would probably take hours. But I've run through with you all these different defects and the whole purpose of these. And Jim, there's more up here you didn't see, so all along here there's more. These have all been created for a purpose and a message to be able to explain to people and guests that come in the issues with painting, colour matching, lacquer, defects, even what grade sandpaper you prep primer with or the colour. So hopefully that was very...
And just put it this, in 10 minutes I learned more than I have in 10 years about paint.
Just from them?
Just from them.
Yeah. So they made them small like that because I've actually once took them to America in a suitcase and used them for training. 2 suitcases full of them. Imagine if I lost them, the cost, because the time involved to make them.
Sure.
Then we've got behind us, as I said about the ramp, this here, I can open this up, slide this across, and what we have is a ramp that drops down. Obviously the car comes off, so at the moment this is upstairs at the way, but we will drop this down probably tomorrow or Wednesday and carry on with the car. We could carry on here, but we'll drop it down so that Ashley, the detailer, he'll be jumping between the Golf and this car for coatings. This has been sort of rough cut, it's got to be cleaned down, checked and refined, just finished off. But yeah, so we have that ability there to do that, and as you can see the wheels are off that car now, they're being refurbed. So we've actually got that ramp there, so we've got a scissor, 4 posts, 2 posts, another scissor, 4 ramps. I've talked to them for ages. You can see we're starting to get the setup ready for interviews and then polishing that car towards the end of the week. More importantly, the next thing we got is training tomorrow. I've got something really special for you, Jim. I want you to go downstairs with me. We're going to put some spray suits on. You're going to shoot some clear. You're going to put a mask on. I had this conversation with you weeks and weeks ago and you was a bit apprehensive, wasn't you, about, and I said, look, come on, let's go and spray some clear coat because I want you, and hopefully you can project to your audience of how difficult or easy maybe clear coat is, because it's very different. You've never done it.
No.
So,
Great.
Let's go downstairs and let's go and shoot some clear. Thank you, let's get on with it.
More often than not, detailers, like myself, will end up stumbling across smart repairs on a vehicle or previous signs of bodywork. At this point it's easy to point the fingers and throw the blame, but actually there's quite a bit going on.
There's a really precious high volume, high quality of, high expensive job.
I have zero paint shop background, and Kelly, very kindly, invited me down to spend a little time shooting some clear coat to help identify lots of the troubles, the variables involved, and to try and help bridge the gap between the painter and the detailer.
Yeah. There is on the market ultra high solid, or even an old-fashioned clear coat like that, a ceramic lacquer or ceramic clear. So that's the old-fashioned PVD. Mike Phillips wrote an article in 2011-12 about it on his social media. That is really, really hard, but that would be under the category ultra high solid, not high solid.
We spent a little over an hour in the spray booth, so naturally there's just too much footage to play it all through. Having had a little go in hearing lots of the stories, the associated problems and difficulties, however, I left with a huge respect for the boys and girls who are painting the cars that we're polishing.
How's that? I'll get out of the way.
It's hard. I've never done it on camera. So we want 150.
And as with everything, some are better than others, but it was a great insight to understanding what, why and how.
Got a bit of a yellow viscosity to that clear coat.
Yeah,
I suppose it is, isn't it?
It is, yeah. As I say, the clear coats aren't as clear as what people... So if you polished a Ford or a Jaguar, they're quite soft, Japanese are, that's tougher than that. But if you had a tough Volkswagen or German car, that's slightly softer. So what we're trying to do, as you can see...
Oh yeah, there's got to run.
Now,
That's what I'm doing.
I'm helping you a bit because they're down flat.
Yeah,
they're not upright. But look how quick that run. Now, what dictates something going on too thick? If I go there, that's running.
It's going to be all...
If I do that there, there's a lot more wastage and a lot less on there. So depending on how quick I move and distance, so if I do that and then move that speed.
One example we can show is this small test bonnet that Kelly has previously prepared. As you can see, there's some difference, but it's actually exactly the same base coat, the same colour, and exactly the same clear coat. The only difference is one side is a light application of colour and the other side is a heavier application known as a dust coat or a wet coat application. As you can see, two completely different looking finishes. Not to mention other potential problems with prep, the colour coats, metallics and colour matching.
Nothing you can do about it.
No.
Nothing at all. Whatever we get, we get.
Yeah.
Go on then. So, go straight with the gun.
Okay.
And you want to be about that far away, that's it. Now do that slowly, stop. So now do it again, but slower movement. So you get an idea of how much is going on. Go on then, go a lot slower. See how much wetter that is?
It's a lot heavier, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Is that likely to drip?
Yeah, that would drip, but not on there.
Because it's horizontal.
Yeah. So you can see already.
Yeah.
So you can start over here as a practice. That's fine, go on then, carry on. Look how dry the edges are. So some people do a very light coat around the edge.
Okay. Well, that's
beforehand.
Right.
But you've got to be careful it doesn't run off.
Okay.
It's to show you how hard. So look, you missed the corner here.
Yeah.
And I bet you've seen resprays when the corner of a panel is like that. And you can see why. So what you've got, you can see, oh yeah, you can really, it's interesting because your mask is new, mine's old. You can see so much more without the mask on.
You can. Well, there's a dry streak across the whole
So
middle.
that's your stop-start.
Yeah.
You've done brilliantly for your first go.
Okay.
And you already wanted to stop to see
Where we're at.
Yeah, you can't.
It was, am I doing this right?
So you're committed. When you paint,
You got to go.
you are committed.
Okay.
You can't, it's nothing like detailing. So stop, come round here.
This is worse than the last time.
Yeah, it's bigger, much harder.
Can I go over that again?
Yeah, go on then. That's better. Pull the mic up, have a quick look.
Not the best, eh?
So you can see.
I tell you what it is, I'm feathering the throttle. I'm not all the way in.
Yeah.
I'm only doing
There's
it
nice
like
and wet there. We can fix that. Or we can fix it now. Thanks. But we need to swap the airlines over. You like?
Yeah. Yeah. Nice and uniform.
Swap over then. So I reckon you can do that.
Okay.
That's better. A little bit slower. Now, Jim, you've come here, you've arced a bit.
Go back a bit.
You missed a bit, you went like that, and you arced.
Right.
We just needed more material on first go, which is very hard on a big panel. It's much easier on a small
It was
panel.
a lot easier, yeah. And I just see my overlap wasn't 50%, it was probably 20, if that 10.
Yeah. And then what happened was, here,
I drifted
you
down,
arced.
I came downhill.
Yeah. You turned, instead of leaning like that, doing that.
I missed a channel there.
Yeah, you sort of arch yourself. Imagine now painting the side of a panel van, a big transit van or transporter.
Wow.
Because this is still nothing. This is flat. This is helping us. And the gym drip.
Yeah, that's 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
I did it the other day on a
I don't
panel
think
as
there's
well.
any danger in me. There's competition for you spraying. Put it that way.
I just did the same again.
Here, there's a bit along here where you pour. You got it really close here.
That's because the panel comes up.
Yeah,
I didn't realise.
yeah, of course. Yeah, it comes
the
up.
contour of the panel.
You imagine what it's like painting a curved car and you've got over a wing.
The 993 rear wing.
I was about to say a 911. That's exactly what I was about to say. Yeah.
DB9.
And you've got to lean over
The hip.
and change gun, change angle, change hand. You can seriously sympathise with why paint comes out average in our eyes.
If you were to give me 3 or 4 main tips of things I was doing wrong, I'm sure I can agree. I would say I was moving too fast.
Correct.
I wasn't actually applying enough material. I wasn't pulling the trigger all the way back.
because I've set the stop on the gun.
But I wasn't anywhere near the stop.
Yeah.
I was halfway in the, so I wasn't delivering enough, so it was coming out patchy.
Yep.
And I wasn't overlapping.
Your overlap, yeah.
And I was drawing rainbows, not straight lines. Because you've got to...
Rainbows.
Thanks, mate.
If you're interested in visiting Kelly to do something similar for half a day, drop him a message. Kelly's details can be found in the video description down below.
As I say, I'll stick to polishing. In between a quick coffee break, the chap behind PVD has arrived. They are a day early before the training day tomorrow. But they're upstairs setting up for some video content. There's some interviews to be done, one with myself, which you'll find in the links below, eventually on the channel. But makes my equipment feel very amateur. Check this out. We have one camera, we have a second camera up here, we have a third angle, and then a fourth angle.
So we are going to now look at the legendary pads, because we've got new pads. I've been researching them and got myself very confused.
Good morning, day 3, nice and early, one of the first in today. As you can see, there's nobody here yet. Today is a busy day. Today we have the guests arriving for the training with Kelly and of course PVD. My objective today is to capture plenty of B-roll to speak to Bert himself, Mr. PVD, Mr. Pro Detailer Magazine and podcast, to hear his backstory, what PVD is all about. So that and more coming up today.
Hi, I'm Bert Ewell. I'm from the PVD Trade Association, Professional Valeters and Detailers. We are at Kelly's gaff down in Kent at KDS Keltec, courtesy of Lake Country Manufacturing. Today we have basically got a training day for our members, and the idea is that for a vastly discounted amount you can come along and just spend a day refreshing your skills, updating your skills, adding that extra kind of 1, 2, 3%. And the idea is if you're already an experienced detailer, the key is to keep learning, keep updating yourself with the latest skills, products, methodologies, etc. As a trade association, we have a very strong focus on skills, which is why we have a mandatory entry assessment, which is a 100-question theory exam with an 80% pass rate and 60-minute timescale. We also have a 2 to 3 hour one-to-one practical assessment at a number of assessment centres that will be opening up all around the UK in 2022. And again, the idea there is to create a baseline. It's not saying if you pass the test, you're the best detailer in the world. What it is saying, though, is that you are safe, efficient and professional. And that really is a kind of a baseline. The best analogy I can think of is we might all have driving licenses, but in order to work on other people's cars in a professional manner, really it's kind of like a Class B race license. It allows you to go on track, it tells you the basics like flags and safety maneuvers and stuff like that, but it doesn't turn you into Michael Schumacher. I hope you can hear me, it's very noisy downstairs. This is the whole concept, is to improve the quality of car care professionals in the UK, improve customer confidence and give customers somewhere where they can find somebody who they know is of a professional standard and is not going to cause any problems with their cars and deliver them the service that they want.
What you're doing is take the ring off, polish it, and what we're going to do, move to the other side of the line. So it's about 7 mil. On the other side, hopefully it works.
Middle of the day now, it's all hands on deck. We've had lots of theory and practical demonstrations by Kelly on the table, blowing people's mind, mine included, which is always going to be the case. I've said to Kelly that if you've got 11 pupils there today, I am the 12th, very much so. My process is my systems, my approach. I put my headphones on, I'm in automatic. I don't so much think too much about the principle of or the mechanical what's going on. Kelly's mindset, if you haven't been to see him already, is very engineer background, research and development. does it very well indeed. And with that said, however, of course, the end result is what is important, and I would like to say I deliver a nice result, and I do, but it's how you get there, it's how efficient you want to be, the materials you decide to use, and approaches you make. And to be honest, I haven't even picked up a machine yet. Tomorrow we start the Aston, which is the second part of this 2-part series video, so be sure to check that out. But I'm sure there will be alterations to my own technique, for the better, for the worst. Maybe not. It's what I'm used to. It's what I'm natural doing. It's my efficient ways. But there's always room for improvements.
Neil Henderson from Cotswold Bespoke, Tewkesbury, Gloucestershire. I've been a member of the PVD for 3 years. Today we've been down to see Kelly Harris for some training with Kelly and with Jim White. It's been a fabulous day. Learned some great tricks and tips. Interesting that Jim's learnt quite a lot as well from us today, and this has all been put on by the PVD. It's a typical sort of event that the PVD will put on for the members, and something that you would probably pay thousands of pounds to have and to learn. But it's been a fantastic day. I've taken a lot away from the day, and hopefully it'll improve my business and make me some extra money and a lot more efficient.
Hi, my name's Matt. I run the company called the Matt Finish in Kent in the southeast. I have been part of PVD since the very beginning. I've been down to KDS today for Lake Country training with Kelly Harris and special guest Jim White, which always is amazing because you get to learn new tricks. Every day is a school day, so none of us are the best. Always learning to improve, and obviously hopefully he'll be doing some more in 2022, and look forward to seeing more of him then.
So I'm Alex from AWC Car Detailing, based in Southend in Essex, and I've been part of the PVD group for roughly 4 to 5 years. Today we are down at the Lake Country Training Day, Professional Plus or whatever you want to call it, and it's been absolutely superb. Learned some fantastic techniques, really looking forward to the next one.
How irritating is my flash? It's fine. Okay. Honestly. Very annoying.
It's all over 100. Yes, but it's still slower. Again, I can do that on another full trick, and it's still there after 3,000.
Never seen it polished. Alright guys, well I'm back at the studio now. That has brought to the end of this episode. It was a fun few days with Kelly, so thank you for being a generous host to Lake Country Manufacturing, LC Power Tools, and of course PVD, the Professional Valeters and Detailers Association. As I say, enjoyed it, fun, even enjoyed the editing. I know the episode has been different to the WhiteDetails regulars if you're subscribed and you're used to the sort of original vlog format of one car and the process. It's been different, but hopefully for the good. Don't forget this was just episode 1 of 2, the Aston Martin that was upstairs and we looked around briefly. That is the second episode on the channel to be uploaded when I get around to finishing the editing. So be sure to hit subscribe to be notified when that
Airs. And then the Viola Metallic Cayman behind me, the GT4. This will feature on YouTube at some point as well. I'm now sat waiting on the owner's arrival for collection today. Beautiful car, beautiful condition, and hopefully a beautiful episode as well. So eyes out for that. And then also in the comments down below, if you'd be interested in attending a training day or a get-together day, similar to what we're seeing in this episode at Kelly's with the 10, 11, 12 of us. If you'd like to attend something similar here at WhiteDetails with myself and Kelly, then it's a possibility. Let us know in the comments down below if that's up your street, if you'd be into that, if you'd like to know more. We'll see what interest there may be for the upcoming months ahead. So with all that said, thank you to everyone again who was involved, and take care. Bye for now.
We have a whole day with Kelly helping our guys get up and improve themselves. So I will get back to that now. That's shite. Oh God, this is not a proper camera. What the hell? Yes, it is. Oh, I don't know these buttons. Is that the...
So as you can see, morning of day 3. It's quiet. No, it's not. It's noisy. This is the trouble you have.
I've learnt a massive amount of detailing today at the Lake Country meet. Oh. Yeah. So I'm Alex from AWC and I'm part of the PVD group.
Hello, I'm Bert Ewell. No, we don't need second names. Right. Oh, that's a nice Lexus. Never mind.
Get out of it, you can. Right, I'm going to literally introduce myself. Wait for the car. Ash, can you pause the washing machine?
So I'm Alex from AWC and keep on flapping it.
You're struggling?
Yeah, struggling for the minute. Still good?
Keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple, nice and short. So I'm Alex.
What am I doing, Jim? Introducing myself with the... I forgot.
So there we go, guys, an end of... So there we are. So there we go, a fun-filled couple of days with Kelly Harris and Lake Country Manufacturing. Thank you also to PVD. Without them and the training day on Wednesday, it wouldn't be possible. Great. Don't forget to wait. Don't forget the Aston Martin episode will be following shortly. And also in the comments down below, let us.
Yeah, close. I've just been caught windmilling.